Yo, it's Guido coming at you with Tactics Talk, guys. Welcome back and thanks for tuning in. Do you want to get better at this game? Do you want to be good at this game? Do you wonder what it is that it takes to do that? Well, let's give you the flippant, easy answer. Go to purple places, do purple things. Now, purple obviously stands for win 8, a third-party metric. Purple players tend to be the best players in the game. They have the highest stats. They do the most damage. They have the most assists. They have the most wins. All that good stuff. But how do you do that? How do you get purple? And the statement is go to purple places and do purple things, which is kind of a flippant answer, but we're going to describe that with 2 videos, both using the 50 TP PR, the Polish Tier 8 heavy premium tank. First one is here on Proc. When you load into Proc, what is your first inclination? Let's say you're in a heavy, you're Guido today and you're 50 TP PR. What's your first inclination on this map? I want you to look at it, look at the setup, and I want you to decide where you would go before I show you where I'm going to go. I haven't even started moving out of the cap right here. If you've watched me, you probably have a pretty good idea. I tend, the majority of the time, to go purple places, do purple things. It does depend on the type of tank you're in, but not as much as you would think. Not as much as you would think. I would not take an arty where I'm going to take this heavy, clearly. That's the easy, obvious type of example, right? Purple places, purple things in an arty is not to do what I'm about to do. But as a general rule, in any heavy or medium, as a general rule, and probably most scouts, I'm going to go to a similar spot, all right? However, in Proc, we're going to talk mediums and heavies for this one. Where is the purple place on this map? We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm watching what's going on, and then I start moving. Usually, I don't wait and I go straight to the place I know I need to go based on what I'm looking at on tiering, map, and matchmaker. Okay? This time, though, on this map, I do wait a little bit because there are some secondary and tertiary places I might go depending on where the deployment is. But usually what I find is exactly what's happening here. Nobody wants to go to the purple place. You've seen me work the east side if I have a flat turreted tank. This one actually does a decent job over there, but 2 artillery makes that a little bit iffy. Okay, that's working the hill over on the 0 column. However, I'm not going to do that today. Why? Because nobody goes 5-6, and I actually typed that in, and that's my salt, whatever, you know, I don't always do what I say I do, right? Do as I say, not as I do. Is that the way to say it? I often fail taking my own advice, all right? However, this is where we go. We go up to the purple place. The purple place is the 5-6 line. Why is the 5-6 line so important? Because it gives you shots on the guys up on the hill, okay? The red team coming up on the north side of the hill. Gives you shots on people being unwise up on the high part around F or so, F1 or E1 in those bushes. Gives you shots on guys being unwise in the 5-6. Gets you spots on them so that your guys on the hill can take shots on them. But this team, oh boy, this team just wants to go camp the hill and camp down on the 1-2 line, all right, the 1-2 column. Man, oh man, guys, I'll tell you what, this game, this is where we be. So here's what it gives you. The purple place gives you shots on guys like him. We'll see if we can sneak one in. And we bounce, if you can believe it. The Barask, we bounce. All right, purple places, purple things, micro positioning within the purple place. A lot of people want to come up here where this row of bushes is. I don't necessarily like that. If you have good depression, this is okay, not great. It can work if the enemy comes up too high. It can also give you some spots, but it can also get you spotted. I like this position because I can actually come up pretty high. I have this rock blocking me, and if they're just barely peeking over, kind of looking in this general area, I can still be covered up. I can come up high enough. Notice how the ground's high enough right here. I can come up high enough, further out, and I can get shots on the guys up on the hill right there. So the micro positioning within the position is important. Why am I hiding behind the bush? Because there's a light tank raging back and forth, and while I'm reloading and don't have shots, I don't really want to just sit there and get hit by 2 artillery. So I am playing this purple position as a purple, being careful, but looking for my opportunities. T-34 is out in the open. The other T-34, the enemy T-34, takes an artillery hit. Finally, I'm getting a little help. There we go, and good on him. All right, so that T-34 is finally coming up. I find the Barask. Now I've got to come up. One of the bummers about this particular position, though, with a short tank, and I have a really short tank for a heavy, is this top edge of this building can be in the way. You can actually knock it down if you want to take some time. I actually end up missing that shot, and we'll back down. I've got a fairly long reload. All right, there's a Tiger 1 right there. Maybe I can sneak up and get a shot on him. He's maybe not quite high enough. I'd have to slide over to the left. Purple position, purple things. The thing about this position is you can move right and left across this whole ridge, and you can get shots on your left side and shots on your right side depending on where you shift to. It works like a champ. Down goes the Tiger 1. Very nice. Now I'm going to shift over here because I see this M445, but he's backing out, so he doesn't give me a shot. Let's go ahead and shift it back down. So I'm going to go over this way. I am moving this way by being low, all right? You do have to watch getting shot in the back. Notice that my draw distance ring is just at the edge of where those guys are. Looks like the Leo's going in, so I'm going to come up here and see if I can get a shot. Not quite. The FV201. And this is the part of the game where you've got to be kind of careful because there's so many tanks in the game. There's 2 artillery. Neither team has built a big advantage. There we go, T-34. Can I just get up high enough to get a shot? Maybe. Oh, and we miss it. All right, so that got me spotted. I don't have 6th sense, by the way, so that's another reason I need to be very careful with this particular tank in this game. Down goes the Leo. That's good. All right, I just noticed that we had a guy come off the hill. He YOLO'd and died, right? But he didn't see anybody else up on the hill. So it looks like, for the moment, I'm clear on the right side to start doing some work on guys over on this side. I do have to watch the middle. So just come in here and get a nice zoom, and we'll sneak a shot into his side. And there is an M449 and the FV thing. There's a Scorpion up top. I've got to come up high. There's my artillery friend. Fortunately, just a stun. Up there's my other artillery friend. He only gets 12. Can't fix the stun because I used it. I'm just trying to get a shot on this guy. Little bounce. That's to be expected. Very strong turret on the M449, but it does keep him a little bit lit, and he's getting shots back on him from the absolute crowd of people. That's like Lake of the Ozarks party up there, right? I mean, they are just all up on that hill. Really zero clue. Are they in a purple place? Potentially. Are they doing purple things? No. No, they're just camping. They're all just sitting on the hill waiting for somebody to get them a light. I mean, look at that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5, maybe 6. There's 6 of them up there, all doing basically nothing. So the other T-34 is working. The enemy T-34 is working in the middle right there. The Scorpion's still up there. I don't want to come too high because that guy's going to have a shot on me. I'll just sneak a little cheeky shot in there and see if I can catch him. I didn't hit him because I hit the ground. And this is a bit of a POSX right here. We got to be a bit careful. There we go. So the Lurva gets caught out. The scout's moving across. He needs to be careful because he can just eat a shot right there. He probably got lucky. Looks like they're looking up on the hill. So now we'll move up. So I'm looking at this going, all right, I think we probably need to start working on these guys a little bit and help the dudes on the hill because they're probably losing some hit points attempting to get in there. A little bounce off that guy. I'm not going to take any hits from the right because they're not on the hill. There goes the Lurva, which is probably doing a lot of spotting on them. And now we've got these guys out in the flat. Plus, so now I can leverage the hill guys because there's so many of them up there. I can do things like this and get these dudes spotted. I do eat a shot from the IS-2. IS-2-2. But I'm getting some spotting damage on these dudes, keeping them lit, and now our guy's up top. I'm just going to take the risk here and try to get rid of this guy. There we go. Figured I might take one more hit, but it was worth it to get rid of the M449. The FV gets pushed back because he's just taking withering fire. They got a scout raging around over there. I missed that guy. If we can get rid of this 1375, that'd be fantastic. I missed a couple shots in here. Oh man, that looked like it was going to go in. And still, the guys on the hill have done nothing. The T-44 is moving around. Look at look at them all still sitting on the hill. They may have shots potentially on the E75 TS, but otherwise they don't have any shots. They find the Barask. We're going to try to get this guy. Oh, dang it. No pen. He did get tracked, but he fixed it. Let's see if we can get a shot on him here. He's going to get down low. Some more spotting on the E75 TS. Purple places, purple things, right? Anchoring the center right here. There was nobody else here. I think the T-34, did he die or did he run away? T-34 eventually died. But I've got 1,300 damage, 821 assist. I'm not worried anymore about the east side, right? Doing purple things. I'm going where I'm needed. I'm needed over on this side. So we're going to bring this tank over here and start to see if we can work into all of their campers. I know the Ice 2-2 is over here. He's been lit, plus he hit me. The Scorpion was seen at 1375. Super Hellcat's in the back somewhere. Surprised this guy didn't see me, to be quite honest, but he's going to come up and over. So I get a shot on him. He finds me now. There he goes, trying to go around. That was a mistake on his part. He should have kept moving. I'm able to get my front armor to him, and he doesn't pen every single shot, just most of them. Spamming the gold on me. Of course, I'm already done spamming all my gold, and we take that guy down. Thank goodness he already was busy somewhere else, probably relocating because they were being threatened from the east side over there. There's one of them. There's one of them. We found him. See, he's over in that corner. I click on that. That's always a good idea, late game especially, to try to find where the arty is. There's more people kind of paying attention. They may not be so busy locked down into the fight or the zone that they're in right there. They might be able to see it. So the M12 gets seen. Kind of waiting for these guys to move in a little bit before I go up and over. There we go. The M12's dead. The FV is over there. He's dead. So now it's just a T-34 and an IS-22. We find that guy. Just nice zoomed in shot. We'll take one into the side of his turret. Down he goes. That's spotting for me. Fantastic. 2,400 damage, 979 spotting, 2 kills. And now we're just going to move in here and we're looking to find the Scorpion. It's the tier 7 version, the American one. All right. T-34 found that guy, so we'll just take those nice shots on him. And we're a little bit worried that, yeah, there he is. That's what I was worried about. The stupid Scorpion would find me, and he did. Surprised he didn't just take the second shot and take me down right here. We'll sneak one in. No idea if it hit him. We'll just creep forward and see if we can find him. The T-34 died. Our T-34 moves up on him. I figured we'd get a spot. I assume he saw me. Again, I don't have 6th sense. So we'll put another shot on him for 3285, and down he goes. And now it's just finding the artillery. Purple places, purple things, guys. I think this actually bounces or misses. No, it missed. Yep, down he goes. 340 taken by the T-34. So 2 kills, 3,285 damage, 979 damage. Now I've got another example. Purple places, purple things. Nobody went there. Imagine if nobody had gone there on my team. T-34 was in the general area. Nobody else went where I went and did what I did. All right? More than likely, none of the rest of them were purple. There may be one. Who knows? Maybe one of them went to the hill. I don't know. But I would imagine most of the rest of the team wasn't purple. Which is pretty easy to say because on most teams you're only going to find a couple purple people at best. Purple people eaters out there. And the point isn't really, to be quite honest, the point isn't can I get purple. The point is, what are the places to go to be most effective in the game? So sure, you can go camp on the 1-2 line. You can sit at cap or up on the railway. You can go on the hill and sit in the bush in the south and not push up and try to get spotting. You can do all those things, and sometimes you can actually be pretty decent at the game. But if you really want to get better at the game and be an active... There's a shot going in. Did somebody shoot that guy? Oh, he was... Holy cow, look at all the shots still going out the artillery. If you want to have as many votes as possible in how a game goes, you've got to go to the places that matter and do the things that matter. That's just the way it is. And they tend to be the dangerous places. They tend to be the places that are harder to play. They tend to be the places that require you to watch more than one spot at one time. So that's why a lot of people don't like them very much. But that's how you've got to do it. You've got to try to get to those places and learn how to fight them if you're going to do purple stuff, right? Purple places and do purple things. Let's go to the second example. The second example, I'm on Malinovka, and I like the Prok Malinovka examples of purple places, purple things, because they're not easy maps to fight heavies in. People complain quite a bit about heavies on these maps. The good news on this map is, whereas I had arty, 2 arty in the last one, I have no arty here, and that's nice because I know I can get up the hill and not just get bombarded. It's bad because I'm bottom tier in my 50 TPPR. Again, the Polish heavy premium tank. So we're going to start heading towards the hill, but we've got some shots maybe. I just take a quick peek, but that doesn't work. I'm a little bit worried about the Conqueror because he's very close. Not taking fire, so I'm not as worried as I might otherwise be. So I'll just, I usually don't go that close to the water. But because the Conqueror hadn't taken any hits, I didn't worry about it too much. There you go. Someone did see him, right? So El Poo. El Poo just took a hit. So I'm watching this, and it's always a case on Malinovka when you're trying to get up the hill. You got to carefully watch what the rest of your team is doing. If you get too many campers, that can be very bad. It looks like there's no scouts in this game, so the 30B has done the scout thing. He's gone to that bush right there, but not the brightest place for a 30B. People clicking on the hill, and here we go. We've got an E75, the M451, IS-22, and here comes the 277. Nice, fast, heavy. He's kind of gone a little bit on the dangerous side right there. We've got a Grill who's probably going to sit down on the bottom. The Conqueror is coming, and it looks like the T-30 is going to possibly camp, but it would be nice. I think he actually does eventually come up the hill. The T-30 is a great tank for this hill, especially with no artillery. His hold-down capability with the big stick. But we got a pretty good force going up, so I'm feeling good about this. If you look at the enemy team, there's a 277. He's dangerous. The Malshin will take a while to get up. The T-10 can be there quickly, and the Type 4 will take a while to get up. Also, they have a T-30, which would be nice not to have to deal with. It looks like, actually, he's down on the promontory, right? So if you look at F7, he's gone there, and that's not a purple place or a purple thing to do. I am going to go to the purple place. The critical terrain, much like the last map, the critical terrain is up here on the mill, right? So up to the windmill. The critical terrain on the last map is the 5-6 line, but the other two sides have to be held. And on this map, not exactly. There's always going to be somebody camping the cap. So unless there's a massive push towards your cap from the south, over on the southwest side of the map, probably doesn't matter what's going on down at cap, right? That's the only situation where it can become dangerous, where they just send 10 tanks that way and overwhelm everyone at the cap, and then they're pushing it behind you. Almost never happens. You do have to watch it. So the other issue is too many of your guys sitting at cap, and we have 1, 2, 3, 5. I'd rather there were less, but there you go. The MX-30 is really not coming up, I don't think, and the Grill A is probably going to sit back there for a while until it's safe to come up high and start getting shots. So overall, it's not a terrible deployment. But on this map, the critical terrain, at least early in the match, is to take anything out that's going up here to the windmill, right? You need to win the windmill, and then you've got the high ground on their campers. Then you've got to kind of assess what's going on down towards your cap. So we got the T-10 up. That stands to reason. He's fast. I don't like what our 277 is doing. That's a really bad idea. Who cares if the T-10 is right there? It almost does not matter how many they put down here. The only time it matters how many they put down on this lower ridge is if somehow they're able to come up behind you over here. Okay? But they almost never are able to come up behind you over here without getting absolutely slaughtered by guys down below. All right? So if you're outnumbered, they have more tanks up here. They have enough to keep you busy up above, and they have 2 or 3 to come around behind you. You're in trouble. Right now, though, that T-10 is basically taking himself out of the fight. There's no reason for the 277 to go fight him, but of course people are always drawn like moths to the flame. Look at this, the IS-22 is going after him. Meanwhile, we really need to take off the anchor, right? The anchor is the 277. The problem with the 277 is, and again, it's go to purple places, do purple things. He has to go because the longer he's there, the more time the Malshin and the Type 4 Heavy to get up top. Type 4 Heavy have to get up top. And once they join this fight, we got trouble up top, especially with no artillery. The 277 has got to go. So we're going to take some chances in here. We're going to come in. Don't knock down that building, by the way, at least initially, because you don't want to give them any more shots from over here than you have to. You may need to take it down later, and usually they'll shoot it down to get at you. But when you come up here on the north spawn, I guess it's the northwest spawn, don't knock it down early, all right, unless you really need to. So I'm going to come in here and try to get a shot. I thought oh, there we go, I did get it, but I'm going to eat a shot in return. Oh, no, I got away with it. I thought he actually got me. Okay, so he just shot the M451. I'm going to take that opportunity. Purple places, purple things. I'm going to go in here, try to get a nice shot. It's nice and green, and pin. No. Dang it. That sucked. That was a chance right there. Now, I am outside on the echelon, so I do have to be careful. He has an easier shot at me, although now the E75 is on my left, and that's good. So I'm like, E75, please don't block everybody here, buddy. Then I see the IS-3. I get tracked. So I prioritize the IS-3 because he came out in front of me and gave me that nice side shot. It's unfortunate that I bounced off of him right there, as opposed to going after the 277, who was probably getting close to a reload. So I didn't want to get hit by both of them. I'd love to have prioritized. Now I'm going to knock this down because now I feel like it's time to change. And that's why I mentioned it. Notice how we have such an overmatch up here. We have a huge bunch of tanks. It's time to press. All right, purple places, purple things. Know when it's time to press. Let's sneak a shot into IS-3. That brings him down, and now he's a one-shot. So the 277 is not a one-shot to me, but he's definitely hurting. He shoots, and there's my option, right, or my opportunity. We'll just come in here, get around beside this guy. We'll shoot him into that shoulder because it was flat-plated. Unfortunately, he doesn't die to the guy that shot him. So what I did there is I'm going to go ahead and face hug him to give him as much turret as possible to maybe bounce that shot. But somebody comes in behind. Good on him for noticing the opportunity. And now we're in really good shape. We got 1,300 damage, and we've got him stuffed, right? The Malshin didn't quite make it up. The Type 4 didn't make it up. Whether they stopped, probably because we won this lower spot so much. All right, so this is kind of the opposite of what I was talking about with the red team. If the green team is handling it up top, and again, I would have preferred the 277 come up and help us take this 277 down, but they did manage to get the T10 out of the way, and then the VK, and they stuffed these two a little bit, made them think a little bit about trying to move up. So for the green team, because we did have the overmatch, the same thing applies to that lower spot. We're able to handle the top and then gobble up whatever tanks they put down below, and we've created a huge advantage for ourselves right here. Get a little bounce off the turret. I'm just going to wait for the full zoom, go right into that lower plate of the Malshin. Not the easiest shot from that range. This gun is okay. It's not amazing though, and I do have to expose myself a little more than I want to get to his lower plate. There we go. So we'll sneak one. Yeah, I eat a Sturb shot, and I need to get back as soon as possible because a Sturb will reload really quickly, 6-7 seconds at the most. Might even be in the 5s. I don't remember, but I need to back out because I don't want to give him 2 shots on me. He's not going to have a whole lot of trouble penning me. Type 4 is taking all kinds of hit. Now I'm going to shift left because I want to minimize the amount of shots the Sturb has, and that allows me to see how this ground is a little raised now. If I stay up top where the road is, then I'm really exposed. At least, game is locking up on me. At least if I'm lower here, I minimize the amount of tank that is exposed to him. There we go. So I'm going to try to sneak one into his weak spot. I shoot and just get out, right? I kind of accepted a not fully zoomed. I'm going to have hard time. I don't know if that was my last APCR. I missed that. But even with the APCR on this tank, I'm going to have a hard time penning even that weak spot. And I just want to avoid taking that big HE shot, so I'll back up and use that dead tank as a bit of cover right there. But I will continue to be a nuisance to this dude. Wondering if I can get into his hatch here. Hey, look at that. Oh, no, somebody else got it. So I bounced the Leopard PTA. Again, probably mostly because I was able to shift downhill just a little bit and present less of my hole to them, or less of my tank to those guys. K91 got the Conqueror, but they're all taking hits. So a little bit hesitant right here to get into the fight. I was still lit, and there's a lot of guns down there, so I didn't really want to give them the opportunity to just slap me around a little bit. 2027. Purple places, purple things, right? Went to the purple place, fought it in a purple way, and now we're going to go ahead and ever so carefully and methodically gobble up their tanks that we can see, right? Now that we've got the high ground, we've got some vision going on. There goes the 103. Bravo. Oh, by the way, remember that's the guy that hit me? And I shifted off to the left, which makes where he was even harder to hit anybody up there, right? As it was, he probably just pixel sniped my turret, and once I shifted left, that just isolated the threat to right in front down the 0 column. So purple things in purple places is how you fight macro-wise or micro-wise, the micro positioning within that position. Right? It's one thing to have the high ground and to go, ooh, goody goody, I have shots on people. It's another one to position yourself well on the high ground and minimize the amount of return fire. Being a little bit weak here with my full hit points. I see the IS-22, and you know, sometimes I am that guy who sits back and lets the one shots charge forward, but he's not dying. So, and then I finally kind of grab a nut, and here we go. You'll notice that the Pantera and somebody else is down in the pit, down in the swamp. Unknown if they're still there. Those are mobile tanks. The T-34 and Su-130 were last seen in the corner. All right, so we just lost 3 guys. The K91, the T34, and the 130 PM just took 3 guys down, and that went a long ways towards evening up. And then I get hit by the Leopard, and I'm spotted. Remember, I don't have 6th Sense on this tank. I do know that this is a bit of a low ground here, and I'm just hoping, there we go, I'm hoping for that, right? I'm hoping to get a bounce so I can get close enough to see him. And now I've got this little saddle that I'm sitting in, and this is very advantageous to me if I can hang on to this little spot and not die. There we go, got one in the T34. Probably should have prioritized the Leopard, to be honest. But the problem with prioritizing the Leopard is I kind of had to come up. a little bit more on the hill to have a better shot, and it looked like I had a much better shot on the T34. Plus, he's not looking at me, right? This guy's not shooting. I'll just see that little wiggle jiggle while I was reloading purple things. I wasn't just sitting there staring at the T34. I wasn't reloaded, so I can just kind of rock back and forth, just spoil his shot in whatever way you can do, which has been a theme for a lot of things in my videos lately. It's one of the things I noticed purple players doing. One of the first things I noticed purple players doing when I was trying to get better at the game. I figured the T34 was going to be dead first, plus there was more hit points on the Leopard PTA. Selfishness. So, some of the purple things is a little bit of selfishness, right? I want to win, but I'm also going to prioritize my damage just a little bit in there. There's nothing wrong with that, right? There is something wrong with it when it leads to a loss or when you're doing it stupidly, but in that case, I don't think it was that big a deal other than it got me another 305, baby. So I'm up to 3,673, 1,861. So back to the rocking thing is something that I noticed with good players very early while I was playing this years ago. Just how much movement they did. And I'm like, why are they moving so much? Doesn't that spoil their gunshot? Doesn't that spoil the dispersion? Well, yeah, in some cases, but the timing of it is what matters. Oh, we can't quite get him. I know the Pantera's in here, so I'm going to rage in and get one more shot on the Pantera. But it's the timing. They're not reloaded, right? Or they have an accurate gun. Or the threat is such that movement is prioritized over having a more accurate shot. There's a lot of purple decisions that go on with those things. Now, the Pantera was last seen there, but you know as well as I do that I just got hit by him from back in here. Purple thing. I noticed that. Shot right in the face from that direction. I know where that guy is. Obviously, probably somebody would have spotted him if he's still down in there, but not necessarily. I do know where he is, though. He's right here. Watch this kill shot. Nope, we're going to bounce. He bounces. Poor guy bounced like 2 or 3 shots off of me, and I get a little more assist, I believe. There we go, 115. So 3,673 damage, 1,976 assists, and 2,690 bounced in bottom tier. This ends up being my ace tanker. I think my first ace tanker in this tank. Might not be. Anyway, it is an ace tanker. 2 kills, and purple things, purple places, purple things on Malinovka in a heavy. Granted, no artillery. That was a big deal, so that did change some of the things that I did, but not too much, actually. I still would have gone up there and fought the way I did. I just may have lost a lot more hit points to splash damage from Artie, who would have had a heyday shooting all the heavies up there, as would ours if we had had one. All right, so there is that. If you want to get better at this game, if you want to play at the top level, you got to go to purple places and do purple things. It's not always the same place. It's not always the same things. Even though I say the critical terrain on this one is the northeast corner, it doesn't mean it's the only place you can go and have an effect. There are multiple places on this map, scout-wise, that are not up on the hill. In fact, I don't recommend going up there with a scout unless you're going to do a quick run or something to see what's going, and even then, there's probably better places for you to be. But depending on your tiering, your tank, and the map, there is a purple place for you to be, and it's probably pretty hard to play. It probably has multiple threat axes, and it is probably not sitting in a bush staring down a lane. So I'll throw that out for you. You guys do with that what you will. That's all I've got for today. Thanks for coming by. I hope you learned something on these 2 videos, because that's how all my games go. That's not even close to true. That's all I've got, guys. Thanks for supporting the channel. If you're looking for other ways to do so, you'll find it down in the description. We will see you. I think I pointed the wrong way. Anyway, wherever it is, see ya.